This program is sponsored by Be Real Films. Find them on Facebook.com.
Hello, I'm Wilson Smith.
I'm Crystal Campbell. Welcome to Breaking Chains.
Our guest today is Betty Mae French. She's a 6-year recovered addict, active in the leadership at Open Door Worship Center and the Celebrate Recovery program. Betty Mae, how you doing today?
I'm good, and you?
I am good.
Hey, Betty Mae.
I love you.
So, what got you into addiction?
What got me into addiction? I guess my ex-husband. I guess he was smoking weed and doing the like. I drank before, but I like weed, and I got to doing weed, and then we did some other stuff. But that's how I got into that. It was no problems or anything. Just he was doing it, so I did it.
It's what we do. Somebody else is doing it. We just join right along with them. Because he's your husband at the time.
Yeah.
So did it disrupt your family life?
Did it disrupt my family life? Well, yeah, I didn't pay as much attention to my kids as I should have. And after he got on meth, it was really bad, yeah. But, yeah, I'd say it did. Quite a bit.
In what way?
Well, was physically abused, mentally abused. I didn't pay attention to my kids. My kids had to do their own thing when they was little. Because Mama was drinking or whatever. We'd go somewhere else and smoke our weed. The man was coming, is what we said. The man's coming. And they would have to do their thing. Wasn't a good environment for them, my children.
How long were you in addiction?
Let me think a minute. 29? Well, 29 minus 6. 23 years.
23 years.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't as bad as some, but it was worse than others.
Right.
My son told me I wasn't an addict. I just liked doing it, but whatever. I did drugs, and it messed them up.
So did it make you do things that was not your normal self?
Yes, I did a lot of things that there was men, and there was I didn't necessarily break the law, but I did do things that I would never think of doing now. I wouldn't be sleeping around. I slept around. I try to spend time with my kids. I work more now. It never stopped me from working though.
So you're a functioning addict.
Mm-hmm.
Always had a job.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Well, no, because I was doing drugs.
Well,
that's how I lost my nursing license.
That's what we do. We work for our drugs.
Well, yeah.
At that time, in addiction, that's what you do.
What led you to clean up your life?
Well, I just got tired. Well, the weed, I quit smoking because it made my head feel funny. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it made my head feel anymore. Drinking, I didn't like the way it made me feel. The meth, I just did like 6 times, maybe 6 times, yeah. And I cried, coming down really, really hard, worse than when my mama died. So I said I wasn't going to do that no more. Drinking, like I said, I didn't like the way it made me feel. Never really had a hangover. I just didn't like the taste of it anymore. It wasn't good. Weed made my head all, didn't like that. So, I just quit. I asked the Lord to get. And cigarettes the worst thing I've ever had to try to quit. I quit that twice. But I had to ask the Lord to give me a bad taste in my mouth, and He did. And that's how I quit smoking. Quit smoking weed. It was easy. Wanted it, but I didn't ever. Once I quit, I stopped.
When's your clean date? What's your clean date?
It's sometime in December. I can't remember the exact date, but I celebrate in January because that's when our Celebrate Recovery started in January.
Right.
Of the same year?
Mm-hmm. No, December. I stopped in December, and then the following January. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how. I don't remember the exact date on all the drinking and the drugs and weed and stuff. But now my cigarette smoking, I quit on August 9th, and it's been 7 years. So that's cigarettes. That's an addiction too.
It is. It's a pretty
Expensive addiction, from what I can tell. Sorry if that hurts anybody that smokes cigarettes. I'm sorry, but it is an addiction.
How did you do it? How did you get sober? How did Lord just lay it in your lap and one day you're good?
Well, no, it was I from what I can remember, like I said, the drinking, I just didn't like it no more. I didn't like the way it made me feel. I didn't like the way. It's not that I had a hangover. I just woke up and it didn't taste good, and my mouth was nasty. And the weed, like it was just my head. My head just felt really bad. And yeah, the Lord I guess He just give me to quit. So I quit. And now I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to, but I have to tell the Lord, get a hold of me, I can't do it.
So
and He does.
Did you give it to God before you quit? Did you, the first step, admit you're powerless and give it to the higher powers?
Yeah, you have to. You have to do that, because, you can quit, but you'll wind up doing it again. If you don't give it to Jesus, give it to the Lord. If you don't, that's the way I think anyway, because my strength is in the Lord. Because if I get tempted to do anything, then I have to pray to the Lord. Like a friend of mine and I were watching Intervention, and we'd watched it, and people had done meth on there before, and somebody was doing meth, and they pulled out a pipe and started hitting it, and it's like I could taste it, and I wanted it.
Right.
And I had to say, whoa, wait a minute. Stop, quit. Lord, get it. I can't do that. And He had to get it, And it'd been 5.5 years.
Wow.
And I never wanted it, but that time I really wanted it. But you have to be. It's hard to do though.
So you laid everything down in December. In January, you just jumped in to celebrate recovery, all feet, everything. You just been doing it ever since.
Yeah, the lady that started at our church, she said she wanted to start it, and Brother Shane announced it, and I said, well, I'd like to help, because I like to help people. I love to help people. If I can help people do that, quit addiction or whatever. I didn't really know exactly what you had to do, but I knew I wanted to help. And I started out just being there, helping any way I could, helping with listening to people, or helping with food, or helping whatever what they needed help with doing. And I wound up after 6 years being a leader, and it's really cool. It's really cool. I enjoy it. I enjoy helping people. It's people really struggle, and if you're there for them, that's a good thing. We did jail ministry, and I enjoyed the jail ministry. That was fun. And some of our jail people, well, I say jail people, some of our people from jail come to celebrate recovery. And it's awesome. I enjoy it.
You've been a blessing in my life. I know I can call on you anytime, and you're going to set me straight, because she tells you right. Whether it hurts her feelings or not, she's going to tell you right. And I thank you for that. Because some things you've told me in my past, it stuck with me, and I can remember going back to things that you had said to me and reflecting on that. But, I was in addiction for 3 years, and it just some things you said to me really stuck home. Some things my dad said to me really stuck to me, and I love when I can go back and I can hear you say what you said to me, and I'm thinking, she really don't know, she really don't understand, but you do, and you did, and you were loving on me, and after a minute, I let you continue to love on me. But at that time, I was like, why is she hurting me like that? But you weren't hurting me, I was hurting myself.
Addicts do that. They think somebody trying to help them.
Yeah.
Wants to hurt them. Man, they don't want to hurt them. Don't want to hurt nobody. Just want to help somebody. Want to help them out of their problems. Yeah, I've had people I could call and I'd just be squalling. I wasn't on drugs then, but I'd just be squalling. And all they did was sit there and listen to me squall.
Yeah.
That's all they did. And that's what I'm there for. I listen to somebody squall, listen to somebody yell. I've listened to people cuss. Now, I don't like cussing, but, you do what you got to do to help somebody.
Yeah. And once we release it, then we feel better after a release. Crying, screaming, cussing, whatever it is. And thank you for being that person that people can call on just to do that with. Because when I was in addiction, talking to you wasn't one of the biggest things I wanted to do, because I knew that you were going to tell me right, but I needed to talk to somebody. And
usually you want to hear what you want to hear. You don't want to hear what's the truth.
Well, I called the wrong person.
And just for a side note for the audience, Betty May is famous in this area for telling it like it is. And
yes, she is.
If you don't want to know the truth about yourself, then go ask somebody else.
Well, that's what I think you need to do. I try to do it in love. I try to do it easy, but sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes I do it really hard, and I don't mean to do it hard. I do love people, and I do want to help people, and I try. But like I said, sometimes I'm really hard, and I don't mean to be. So
would you say your very deep involvement in the CR program is among the tools you use to stay sober?
Yeah, it is. It helps me to help people. It helps me. Nikki, y'all had her on. Yep. She said one of the things, how she stayed clean, is to be doing something all the time. And that's what I do. I'm busy doing something all the time. We've started, some of our ladies go on Monday nights and visit other ladies. Some of our CR ladies. Tuesday night CR, Wednesday nights church, and used to have Thursday night at jail, but we don't do that anymore. But we try to do everything we can. Staying busy helps keep your mind off of the addiction, off of the drugs, off of whatever you're addicted. It don't necessarily have to be drugs. Off of just staying busy keeps your mind focused on something else besides what you don't need to do.
All right, focus is everything.
Yeah, get you that.
You got to change your stinking thinking.
That's what Brother Shane says, isn't it?
Yeah, he read the book.
We do. We have to retrain our brain to think normal. When I first got sober, I was a nervous wreck. I didn't know how to live. I didn't know what they expected, because I felt like somebody expected me to do something that I didn't know how to do or whatever. So I took the time to just be nervous for a while, because that's what they told me to do. I went to IOP and they said it's okay, because what I was going through was a lot of junk that I had to process to change my way of thinking. And when I changed my way of thinking to thinking everything's going to be good, you got to do this, this, and this, and people, places, and things, we got to change all that.
Yeah.
Get all the bad people out, not necessarily bad people, but people that are doing drugs or trying to hurt you, abusing you, move all of them to one side and leave them there, and just move to people like go to meetings. Open Door has one on Tuesday nights. It's called Celebrate Recovery. We have one here Friday night from 6 to 8 at Unity Broadcast TV 39 Studios, 5525 178 Fulton, Mississippi. It's called Unchained Recovery.
I usually have to read that.
A lot to say. But it's on Friday nights, and everybody's welcome. If you want to change your stinking thinking, just come visit with us.
And we and CR both give 2 signatures. They're considered 2 meetings. So if you're, family services or drug court, we got you covered. And, we're official with both of those. And tell us a little bit what you all at CR do. I've only been to 1 meeting there.
Well, that's pitiful. You need to come. Well, we have at 6 o'clock we eat if you want to eat. At 6:30 we start the meeting. It's sort of like we have worship. It's not sort of like. We have worship, then we have either we have testimony or we have lesson. And then whatever goes on. But we've had some really good testimonies of people that have been clean for at least a year. And we've had some really good people. We've had Brother Patrick from Red Bay. We had
him on the show a while
Did
back.
you?
Yeah, he was fabulous.
Yeah, he was. He's good. Chris, was it Chris Payne?
Mm-hmm.
Chris Payne. We had him. He's from Tupelo. We just try to look for people who would be good to help other people. Like I told them Tuesday night, if you don't know, everybody's testimony is different. You don't know how you can help somebody else. You might could help somebody else. And you don't have to necessarily be an addict. After I'd stopped, I found out that I was a neighbor and codependent. So you can be, you can be that. You can have problems with anger. You can have anything. That's what we help. That's what we try to help. We try to help with anything and everything. Mm-hmm. And everybody's welcome. There's no judgment. It's
anonymous.
Mm-hmm. And confidential. Yeah. I can't say that other word. Anonymity.
Anonymity.
Yeah, that's anonymity.
Yeah, I can't say that word either.
But we don't, what goes on there stays in there. We just invite everybody to come. We just, like I said, we want to help people. We try to love on them. I'm a very loving person. I may tell you the truth, but I do love you, and that's what I want to do is help people and love on them and let them know that they're not alone. You're not because when you're going through that and you stop, you feel like you're by yourself.
Right.
And you're not alone. You feel like nobody loves you. You feel like you're not worthy to be loved, I guess, and but you're not. I mean, you are worthy to be loved, but you're not alone. And you need to get out away from people who are in the addiction or who are causing you that stinking thinking, and get away from them and get around people who love you and who will show you they love you and who will let you know that you're not alone.
I know when newcomers come into a group meeting, they do feel scared to open up to others. So if you come once, keep coming until you feel comfortable enough to talk to the ladies in the group, because they separate into ladies and men, and we ladies say what's on our hearts, and that's how we get things out for joy and happiness and good stuff to fill us back up with. Thank God that Jesus fills us up with joy every day.
If you can get it out, the devil can't hold it against you.
Right.
Like I was telling them about, if you give your testimony, you get it out. The devil tries to tell you, oh, you did this or you did that. But if you tell about it, it's hard to tell about it. I cried through my first, I don't even know how I made it through the first, and I still cry when I give my testimony. But you help people, and the devil, he can't bring it back up. And if he does, you can say, well, everybody knows it already. Like, I had quit smoking weed. I'm going to give an example. And I think I've been quit about 3 months. And my ex-husband, the one I started with, came around and wanted me to smoke a joint. And I didn't want to do it, but I did it. I did it on a Sunday. And on a Tuesday, I was drug tested. And I lost my nursing license. I was an LPN, a certified LPN. I could start IVs and stuff. And I stayed depressed for a good long while. I stayed in my room and was ashamed. I was ashamed I did that. And once I went to talk to somebody at where I used to work, and she was a real good friend. And I said, I was so ashamed. And she said, well, Betty Mae, we all did it. You just got caught.
Right.
And that made me feel better. I found out that I shouldn't be ashamed of it. I mean, I should, but I shouldn't. I quit, and I'm okay now. I mean, nobody stopped loving me because I surrendered my nursing license. Nobody stopped loving me because I'd gotten drunk a lot. Nobody stopped loving me because I did anything. They love me no matter what, and that's what we try to let people know. You're loved no matter what. You're loved. If you can't find nobody to tell you they love you or show you they love you, then you're loved by God. And if you don't believe you're loved by God, all you got to do is look around. First of all, look around. But He did send Jesus to die for you, and Jesus loves you. But just look around at what you have. Look at what you have, and that shows you God loves you, because He gives you a lot, whether you believe it or not. He gives you your breath. He gives you breath to get up. You get up every morning. You get up. You may not feel like it. You may feel depressed, but He loves you, and you're here for a reason. There's a reason why you're here, and you just got to figure, you just got to know that there's a reason you're here, and He's got you. You just got to give it to Him.
Even when you're in addiction, Jesus loves you.
Mm-hmm.
If you would look around and see what you've been going through, what you went through, that's God getting you through it. Because He has helped me through a lot of situations that I didn't realize until I got sober.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He picked me up and carried me a couple of times.
Yeah, that's a footprints thing.
I could probably name 1,000 times I thought I would be dead if it weren't for God. Or, when I quit cocaine a couple decades ago, I was on a tour bus full of roadies who were doing cocaine, and I still had a month left on the tour, but I wasn't paying my child support. I was out of touch with my entire family, and I just knew I had to quit, and it was a hard thing to do. And then one night we stopped for a shower, traveling at a truck stop, and I found a tract of the 12 steps, and a little book that was called God Loves You. It was on a table for free, and so in between shows while we were rolling, I'd be up in my bunk in the fetal position just reading that, just because everybody down below, in the front of the bus was up there doing that same stuff I was trying to get away from. And I completely understand the people, places, and things. I think it might have been a lot easier for me.
Probably would have.
Had I been able to get away from it. But, part of the problem was I wasn't paying my bills or my child support. I couldn't leave the tour. I needed to make that money.
Yeah.
And, I wish I'd heard of meetings back then. I wish I'd heard of God back then.
Yeah.
What advice would you give someone who wants to get clean or sober today?
What advice would I give somebody? First of all, pray. Pray and ask the Lord to help you. Second of all, look for somebody. Tell somebody. Tell anybody. Tell somebody. And let them know what you're doing and that you would like to get clean, and ask them to help you, and they'll help you. And if they won't, keep asking until somebody does. You can go to any church, I'm sure, would let you, would help you out. And like I said, pray, because God will get you. You just got to get broke. And when you're broke, when you're so far down, all you got to do, you can't do nothing but look up. That's when you see God. And that's usually when you decide you got to quit, when you get that low and you're hurt so bad. But God will help you. You just got to ask Him. And there's people out there that'll help you. No matter what, they'll help you.
So have you ever had any people come through CR that failed and just broke your heart?
Yeah, that really hurts. It's disappointing, and you feel, or I felt like there's something more I could do, and then God tells me, you planted a seed, and planting a seed is all you're supposed to do, is plant a seed.
Right.
You love on people and you plant that seed. That's all you can do. And maybe something you said or did, or something that was said or done in a meeting, is that seed. They will know, hey, and it'll come back up in their head. Ooh, look at there. God loves me, or I can do this. Look at who they did, or they might come back. We've had people come back after and
I did.
Yeah, you did. And you're really strong in it now.
Yes.
You are. And we appreciate you and we love you. And you're welcome for helping you. And you've blessed my life. You have blessed me. Whether you believe it or not, you have blessed me a lot. Because I've had to call you a couple of times.
Yeah, me too. She actually, I never thought of myself as being an addict in the past.
Yeah.
And she told me I was.
Talk about being honest.
Yeah. I get it from Betty Mae. But the program says be honest, and you got to be honest with yourself and with others. Because if you're not honest with yourself, then you're not going to tell somebody else the truth.
You have to admit that you have a problem. Yes. You have to admit it. And if you don't think you have a problem, then there's no need in you trying to quit or anything. You have to admit that you have a problem. Take responsibility.
Yes.
Take responsibility for your actions. Child support. Take responsibility for it. Get back up and try to start doing it.
That felt so good when I got it all paid off.
Yeah, like me, this is not for drugs, but like, I got behind a little bit on when we had COVID, and I'm having to take responsibility and go back and do it. The stuff that I did when I was back there, I have to take, okay, I did that. I'm so sorry I did that, Lord. You've got to help me fix it. Help me go back and fix it. Because you reap what you sow. Right. And after you get clean, it doesn't matter. After you get clean, it's going to take a little while to get back.
Right.
Don't expect everything's going to be perfect. Because it's not. It's going to be hard. It's going to be really, really hard. And you're going to want to go back to it because it seems easier when you're in addiction, but it's not. So you got to keep going every day. If you have to, count every minute, count every second. Okay, I made it another minute. I made it another 15 minutes. Every hour you got to count it, and call people. Hey, I need some help, and I'm struggling here. I'm a jonesing. That's the word.
Yep.
Jonesing. I'm jonesing. I want something, and I need some help. Talk me through it.
Yep.
You know, you just ask for help and don't give up. Do not give up, because you give up, it hurts. You fall twice as hard.
You do. You really do. I know when I got sober, you said, Rick, what you sow? When I got sober, I had a lot of fines and warrants to go look up and pay.
I remember that.
And I got it all did.
Yeah.
I got it all did.
And you were happy when
I was so happy to pay that stuff off, not have nothing over my head anymore. I do have drug court. I got another year or so on drug court, but I was tickled. I had the job to where I could pay this off, and I paid up the power bills and the water bills that were behind, and I had like 3 different warrants and fines to catch up on or pay off, and I did that, and it made me feel really good about myself. And
you also get back connections with people that you've lost.
Yes, you do.
Your sons.
Yes.
Your sons have really, I'm just really proud of you for that, because they're calling you and talking to you. And you were sort of estranged from them for a while.
Yes.
Because of your addiction. But now you're not. And that's just really
That's
cool.
God bringing us back together.
Yeah, He will. He'll bring you back together with the people that you thought that didn't love you. They just had to step back and let you do what you needed to do. They had, and it hurts.
I remember my dad told me I was abused, I was beat on, and he told me I must like it.
I remember.
I did not like to be beat on. So that just bothered me that he would say I would like it. And then another time he says, you're not ready. I was like, I might be ready. You don't know. I was getting angry with him and ill with him. He don't know. And that stuck with me. And I thank him for that today, because that was something that was, buried inside me. Is that seed. And
you're codependent.
I'm very codependent. I'm breaking that kind of.
Breaking that chain.
Yes, breaking the chains.
Well, we're coming up on the end of our time. Tell us the CR address and times.
The address, you'll have to Google it. I think it's 18411.
Yeah.
Highway 25 North, Bolton, Mississippi. We start at 6 if you want to eat, 6:30 if you don't.
On Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays, yeah.
And Unchained Recovery Group.
Fridays at 6 to 8, Unity Broadcast TV 39 Studios, 5525 Highway 178, Fulton, Mississippi.
And if you need any information, you can give me a call at 662-551-0090. And Betty Mae, it was great having you here.
Oh, gosh, thank you.
Is this the first time you've been on this show?
On this show, yes.
I love you.
I love you.
All right, y'all have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
This program was brought to you by Be Real Films, dedicated to family entertainment since 2015. Find them on Facebook.com.